Welcome to the Voice of Football podcast. I'm Jack.
And I'm Matt.
And we're going to talk about some football and stuff. So grab a cuppa and we're going to go through the predictions we had last week for last weekend's games, which were reasonably successful.
Yeah, I think we did better this time than the previous attempt.
Yeah, we would have made some money, been able to post our accumulator at least. And
yeah, I mean, it's still Super 6, we'd have been missing out on that $250,000.
Yeah, Jeff absolutely smashed me this week. I had a shocker.
Oh wow, clip that.
Clip that. Pause. So the first result was Burnley-Man City, which I thought Man City would win because, I'm a sensible man.
Any betting man would have said 3-1. Well, not you said 3-1. Not any betting person would have said 3-1. That's quite specific. But they would have said Man City to win. Me, on the other hand, I believed in Burnley. I was like, Sean Dyche, he's got a good thing going on. He can draw. I said 2-2. I mean, it was 1-1.
Yeah.
So, still wouldn't win that $250,000.
It was a good performance in the end, though. Burnley, actually turned up.
Yeah, they did.
Not to say that they don't do, but, against Man City, most people look like they don't turn up.
Yeah, most people do just sit everyone back in this, we'll try and keep it reasonable here.
Yeah. They did a decent job, to be fair to them. Bournemouth-Stoke, we predicted that Bournemouth would win, and they did, so probably the greatest football predictors of all time. Paul Merson, Eat your art out. Eat your art out.
Eat your art out, yeah.
What a word. Brighton West Ham was 1-0. Brighton West Ham, we predicted it would be a 1-1 draw.
We both said 1-1. That's interesting. What was the actual score?
Brighton won 3-1 in the end. So...
Yeah, so...
I mean, West
Paul
Ham...
Merson probably got it right.
Yeah, he always gets it right, bless him. Even if he gets it wrong, he gets it right.
Gwilym Blake would be sitting there going, I knew that one.
Yeah, he probably paid the people off, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised. He's got all that new book money. West Ham having a bit of a tough time. Maybe we'll get into that a bit later. Leicester-Swansea. I predicted that Swansea would win, and Matt predicted that Leicester would win. And it was a 1-1 draw, so...
Oh, well, there you
go. If you stick us together, then we got the right result. So that's all that matters. Man United beat Huddersfield.
Yeah,
no one's shocked by that.
Not at all. I did want to slightly believe that Huddersfield could do it. I mean, admittedly, my prediction was 2-0 Man United, so I sort of didn't, but... I wanted to. I wanted Man United to lose or draw just once.
Then Arsenal-Everton. We both predicted that Arsenal would win, and they did. I said Arsenal would concede.
Which they did.
So
quite a comfortable win, and he still conceded.
It's just, you know what? I saw Czech going off, and I was like, there's a place in my heart for you, my friend.
You watch, Ooooospina will get a clean sheet now or something.
I can't wait for it, mate. Ooooospina's going to be like... To be fair, my favourite... This is aside from... We've got off the predictions for a second. But my favourite moment was when Ooooospina came on, and the first time he kicks the ball, he's got to clear it, and the whole crowd goes, Ooooospina! And I was like... That's way better than anything Czech's ever done. I don't care about a save. I care that everyone went, Ooooospina!
Yeah, Ospina's like that guy. He rallies everyone together without even meaning to. He's just like the hero everyone deserves.
He's about 5'2", but we all love him. Crystal Palace, Newcastle was a 1-1 draw, and we said...
Yeah, we both predicted Crystal Palace would win that.
Yeah.
I said Wilfried Zaha could be the difference. And now he's injured. So, interesting prediction coming this week for the Crystal Palace game, because my main man Zaha is out.
Yeah, either that or you've actually managed to curse him. So whoever you say is going to be the main man this week, just don't bet on.
I'll say Moussa Sissoko then, because then it won't make a difference. And then he might actually perform.
Tottenham Liverpool was a thrilling draw, 2-2.
Oh, what a draw. It will come on to that.
We both predicted that Liverpool would win.
Yeah, me as a Tottenham fan even predicted that Liverpool would win easily.
Couldn't quite predict the refereeing situation.
No one saw that coming.
And then Watford-Chelsea, I predicted that Chelsea would win, again because I'm a sensible man.
Yeah, and me, looking back at the Burnley-Man City score as well, I was like, no, Watford can do this. I think I even said, I was like, I could really see a Watford win there, or draw, I can't remember what I said. But, yeah, Watford 4-1 in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Quite comprehensive. I watched that game as well. They were really good. Really good. I mean, Chelsea were poor, but Watford were very good.
I mean, leading on, I suppose, from that, as we move into the second portion of the show, Chelsea, what? What? How? Huh?
Chelsea, what?
They've had, was it 2 wins in the last 10 games in
Something
the league?
like that. Those wins were really like good wins. They were like 3-0, 4-0 or something.
See, I have a theory that, and you have to bear with me for a second here, that Conte, he wants to get a different job, right? He wants the Bayern Munich job or the Real Madrid job, right?
Do you think?
And in secret, this is my addition to the theory, he's sabotaging the other people because he's just that good. He's like, he's on the phone to Cristiano being like, nah, don't score, make Zinedine look bad. But I think he wants to get sacked because he doesn't want to leave, because you won't get the payoff, right? If you get sacked, you get the money, right? So I think he's just like, fuck it. You know, they're all in the dressing room and everyone's like, boss, what tactics should we play today? And Conte's like, I don't give a fuck. Do whatever you want, mate.
And play. Yeah.
Honestly, don't give a shit. Hazard, do you want to play up front, mate? You said you could about 3 weeks ago. We've done shit since, so why don't you carry on, mate? Fuck it. I bought Giroud, but suck it. Hazard got
He bought Giroud, and yet again, I'm gonna, like boost my ego a little here.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you thought Giroud could be the difference maybe in that game against Watford. He came on, and as I predicted, was rubbish. Did nothing.
Yeah.
Like, you could see what they're going for with him, though. As soon as he came on, there were a lot more like crosses and stuff into the box, and he's up there. He did win a really impressive header that I was like, only ever seen Ronaldo jump that high. But yeah, he just didn't do well in that sort of game. Doesn't have cojones.
Doesn't have
as Troy
cojones.
Deeney would say yet again about him, probably.
It's not quite worth it. But yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know what your Conte thoughts are. It just looks like he doesn't want to be there.
I think he wants. I don't know.
He's saying he wants to be there. That's the latest.
I think he would want to be there. I mean, he has just won the league with them. Surely you'd still be like, yeah, we can go on to great things. But I don't think there's any. I think there's like players, Conte and board. I don't think there's anything. I think he's just in his own little island, like on his own. I think players are a bit like, well, he did it for one season, but he's not very good to actually replicate it again. And then the board are a bit like, we're not buying who you want, we're buying who we want. And I think he's left all alone, stuck in the middle.
Yeah, it seems to me it just seems a little odd that like you said, he won the league in the first season and he's been doing well, and then like the transfer market comes and he keeps saying, like, he's almost too honest. He keeps being like, I don't really want this person. Like, and even like in January, whatever, he gets like Ross Barkley and he's like, I'll coach him. And they're like, is that it? And he's like, yeah,
I'll coach him.
I'll run the training if you want. And it's just, I don't know, he comes across a bit like he won the league and he was like, I've done my bit, now can you reward me by letting me buy some players? And they were like, no. And he's like, well, fuck it then. It's all gone to shit, hasn't it? Look what you've done.
He needs to go to somewhere where he's like, he just comes up with a list. He's like, right, get me these people. And they're like, that's cool. We don't care how much money, like Real Madrid. They're like, we don't care how much money that costs. We'll go out and get them for you. I think that's what he needs. He just needs to be backed.
At the same time, they've spent like 258 million over the past like 2 seasons. So it's I can understand from his perspective if he's like, they haven't bought the players I want, but there is an element of, I mean, they've bought a lot of players. They've bought some good ones. Like,
I almost wonder if their worst thing that they've actually done wasn't who they brought in, but it's who they let out in terms of like Matic. Because I think like Kante and Matic together, like that was solid last season, and now he's gone to Man United and they look a bit. Bakayoko's come in and he looks all right. I mean, in that Watford game, he got sent
absolute
off.
shocker.
Yeah, like, I mean, they were poor before that. To be fair to them, maybe he was just like, I don't want to deal with this. I'm just gonna go home, get some rest. He's like, we're gonna lose here, lads. I'm taking it early. But yeah, I think that could be one of the biggest problems for them, and I don't think they've replaced that hole that he left.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I think they've sort of tried to be fair, but it does come across like, I don't know. I heard, it might have been Conte talking about Arturo Vidal from Bayern Munich, and he was like, he's a really good player. I really like him, and it sort of comes across a bit like he was like, I want that guy. And they were like, here's Danny Drinkwater. And it was like...
Oh, Danny Drinkwater, I forgot about
He's
him.
like, yeah, I mean, he's fine,
Yeah.
but, like, I wanted that one. You've bought, like... I wanted... You know, you've bought me, like, an Xbox with a PlayStation controller, and you're like, I can't work with this, lads. It's not gonna work for me.
It does feel like that bit, like, you know, on Football Manager, when you're just like... You're like, oh, you go on that player and like, oh, add as transfer target. And you're like, oh, go on Director of Football, go sort that deal out for me. And then they're like, yeah, this isn't possible. You're like, oh, okay. You're like, oh, but Danny Drinkwater, on the other hand, he is very possible. We can get him. And you go, but, you know, he's 15 passing. I want the, like, 17 passing one.
Yeah, so I think it gives an easy excuse, doesn't it, to be like... And to be fair, I can kind of see, if I was a manager and I'd won the league last season, and I was still in the FA Cup, I was still in the Champions League, and I was in fourth, admittedly, slipping down.
On their way down.
I'd be a bit pissed off. I'd be like, look, lads, like, I've done my bit here. I've won the league.
Yeah,
Can you
he's
just give me a minute?
doing well. I think this is always the problem with the Premier League, is how quickly teams learn to play against you. So I think he did very well to go and win the league like he did last season, playing the three at the back that everyone's like, whoa, what is this system that we can't break down? He wins it, and now everyone knows how to play against that, and now he's struggling this season. But yeah, I think you're right. I can see why you'd be a bit annoyed. I do think they got a bit cocky in terms of when they played you in the FA Cup final, though. I think the league, having won the league, that went to their head, and I think they should have seen out that final. You are admittedly very good at Wembley and FA Cup finals, as you've shown in the last 4 years. But I think Chelsea had enough to win that game. And I think they were a bit like, yeah, we've won the league. We don't need another cup. And they let that go. And I think it's been a steady decline since that moment they lost that final.
I can see that. Moving on to another team that didn't get a great result, Man City. What is your opinion of naming 6 substitutes instead of 7? It seems to be a very hot point of debate for no reason, apparently.
But why would you do that? Why would you? And his comment about it was like, oh, I just don't have enough players. Oh, sorry, Guardiola, the man that spent 200 million, 250 million past 2 windows. Oh yeah, you don't have enough players. There was a great point by Gary Neville, to be fair, where he was saying, why not take a youth player or someone, because I think he also said that the youth team or the second team, something like that, had just played another game, so they weren't fit, in air quotes.
Yeah.
But as Gary Neville said, why not take the youth player just to get that experience of travelling with the first team, see what all the buzz is like, so that when he does get called up to the first team, if they do, I mean, whilst they have Guardiola, I don't think any young player's getting called up. But yeah, take him along with the first team. Let him see what the whole thing is like. I used to, admittedly, I wanted them all to play. But when we used to take the youngsters to the Europa League, I was like, that's a great experience for them to go. Oh my god, they're travelling, admittedly, to some very weird Russian teams usually in the Europa League back then. But at least they were going to a European competition. They were getting to see what it was all like. They travel with the first team. They see what all the big boys do and see how they prepare for a game like that. That's like away to a European team. I don't understand it. I don't know why you would only name 6. And then they drew. If he won that game 5-0, that looks amazing on him, because he's like, yeah, I can win the game and I've only got 6 substitutes. But he drew. He could have brought a youth player. He could have been, oh, go on, just go on for a minute. He could have scored a wonder goal.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Don't get it at all. What do you think? Because I've just ranted a lot about it.
No, I would agree with you. I don't understand why you wouldn't fill your bench if it's there. I think there were a lot of people saying that it seemed to be like a protest type thing, that he was after some of the challenges that some of his players have had, and he's had a couple of injuries, that he was trying to make a point of being I haven't got enough players because you've broken them all. And I can see why. I don't think you're never gonna need all 7 substitutes, so I can see why you would do it. I just don't get the point. I don't see really what you lose from, like you said, if you take a young player along and they don't play. There were some people I saw arguing that were a bit well, it kind of gives them a bit of a false hope, or a bit of it's it gives them a chance they never really deserved. And I'm like, yeah, but it gives them experience no matter what.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if if you were like, I worked really hard in training, hopefully you pick the guy who was working really hard in training and go, do you want to come and sit on the bench next to like Aguero?
Yeah. Well, as Gary Neville said, I'm not the biggest fan of Gary Neville, but I think he made interesting points on this. But as he said again, if you're there as the youth team coach or manager or whatever, you must be sitting there thinking, what is the point of what I'm doing? Because he has that spare spot and he doesn't call any of your players up.
Yeah.
So he's like, why am I coaching these people? Because Guardiola's just going to go and spend 200 million in the summer again and buy the already good people. He's not caring about youth development. So it just seems weird. Even as a protest thing, it's just weird. I mean, even if he was like, oh, you broke all my players, that's why he spent the money he has, so that he has squad depth. Everyone else deals with that. It's not just his players that get attacked. He's probably used to a winter break as well, to be fair.
Yeah, that's true.
So he's probably a bit like, he's probably not used to his players having to play during the Christmas period and then getting injured.
You should try be like the Arsenal manager. People just break themselves all the time. You don't even have to have opponents. They just do it themselves.
And they just keep them employed for years.
Yeah,
as well.
you just pay them off. It's fine. Don't worry about it. You should come with, it's a totally different job then. Should I pay the bunch of people with like half a leg to play football? It's fine.
I'm sure I've seen him constantly say like, oh, it's all about rotation and managing and making sure they get enough rest and everything, and then like they've still broken themselves.
Yeah.
So
and I can see what I think a lot of people are making like points because it related then to the types of challenges they've been having and how teams have been approaching it. And I'm like, you look at some of the tackles that have gone in and you're like, yeah, that should have been a red, that should have been a red. But like,
I don't know that any of them are actually. I don't know that managers actually gone. Oh,
yeah.
Go and break Kevin De Bruyne, please. Because what does that benefit anyone?
Yeah.
Unless you're Jose Mourinho and you're like, come on, we want to win the league. Go and break him for me. Why would no manager would go out with that mindset? It's just players being a bit. Maybe they're just so good, you actually can't touch them that they end up getting quite badly fouled.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think there are any worse challenges.
I think that's more of the point. I think is that you often get worse challenges when players are like, especially when they're like anxious about playing the other team.
Yeah.
When they're like, oh, we got to play Man City, we got to get in quick, we got to make good tackles, and then because you're really trying to make the best tackle possible, chances are you're going to try something that's just stupid, and you're going to be like, everyone else is like, why did you do that? You're trying to break him, and you're like, no, I just really need to win the ball because they're so good.
Because sometimes you would just react incredibly quickly, wouldn't you? If he was sort of running at you, and he'd be like, oh, I'm just going to swipe this away really quickly, and if that other player is so good, he just takes another touch, then you end up just completely swiping his leg away. I mean, you see it with Messi probably all the time.
Yeah.
Because he's just so impossible to like touch. I've seen videos of people that just like wrestle him to the ground because they actually can't.
And it's something. Yeah, it's something that like every team that's won the league are playing nice football. I'll sort of put that in brackets because Leicester didn't really have it. But playing
Leicester didn't play much football.
But like any team that's tried to do like the passing keep possession thing has had like you go and play Burnley or you go and play Stoke or whatever, and they just try and break your legs. That's how English football works.
I think that's the top 6 teams. I think they all have that problem now. That's what I mean. I don't think it's any worse for Man City than it is for any of the other teams, like especially the top 6, because the other teams like Stoke and Burnley, they do get sick of all the like nice passing around, and they will just break your leg. I mean, Charlie Adam is one I would say that probably does actually mean to do it. I can see in his mindset going, I'm going to break his leg. Maybe Joe Barton as well, possibly.
Oh, Joey Barton.
But
I saw a great clip on BT Sport of them talking about the hard men of football. And they were like talking about like, because they were all ex-players, can't remember who it was. It was like Gerrard, Robbie Savage, and I was like, you're one
Robbie
of them.
Savage,
before.
yeah.
But they were, and then someone else was talking about it, and that was Martin Keown actually. And
yeah,
they were all like talking about the hard, and it was funny because they all said it was the person you wouldn't expect that they were always like is the hardest person. They were all they played with like can't remember what names they named, but they were like, oh yeah, Joey Barton, he seems hard, but they'd name some like tiny little guy and be like, yeah, he's a monster. And I'd be like, really? And they were like, yeah, you could just like break him and he'd like just get back up, and you're like, fair enough. These people are like spongy.
Yeah, I imagine somebody like Moussa Dembele is somebody like that.
Oh yeah.
Like I think he's such a nice guy, but you're like, just go down, Moussa, like just get off the ball. And he's just like, no.
I am Moussa.
No, I am Moussa, I have ball.
Moving on to a completely different topic. I think it turned out you were right about Mahrez because he's turned into a little bitch, basically.
Well, remind me what I said.
So last week we spoke about it, and you were saying, why do Leicester owe him anything? Why should Leicester have to... Like, why is he throwing a fit, basically? They don't want to sell him. And I was like, well, he's quite a good player, and, he'd probably want to go somewhere else, and he's done his bit, and then we were on, like, opposite sides, and since then he's just not turned up for training.
Yeah, he's not turned up at all.
It's just turned into a little bitch.
I mean, just how do... Yeah. It's just... he's no respect now.
You get paid every day. You should at least turn up. I'm gonna be mad upset. I'm gonna turn up and not speak to anyone. Just kick the ball straight in the goal every time.
Yeah, I mean, you could turn up for training and just be like, right, I'm just here to kick the ball, lads. Like, I'm not passing to any of you. Like, I would do that. I would turn up and I'd be like, oh, look how bad I am, boss. And he's like, wow, you're really not doing well on the bench. And then just don't play that way. Don't not turn up for training at all.
It just seems like the most counterintuitive way, because then now everyone is going to be like, well, he didn't turn up when there was trouble.
Everyone hates him now.
It's a bad PR move.
Especially when you haven't got your move. That's just not what you do. You get back in training, you get your head down, and you carry on. And you go, sorry, lads, I did ask for a move away, but don't mind being here, really. Even if you do hate it, you say, I don't mind being here, really. And you get on with training. You get the season out of the way. Like, they're probably not going to win anything, but they still need to stay up. You'd still rather be at a club that can pay your wages. Right?
Need to learn from a Berahino situation. Don't go down that road, because now no one wants to buy Berahino. Like, he's gone off the radar.
Where even it? Stoke?
I don't know. It was Stoke. It was... Yeah,
I do feel sorry,
because
Tottenham were the reasons why he did what he did.
But even then, it's the same thing. It's like Tottenham wanted to buy him. He wanted to go. Stoke were like, no. He threw a hissy fit. Now we're like 4 years down the line and everyone's like, Berahino, shit.
I'll also just say as well, the offer that they took for Berahino from Stoke was awful compared to what I'm sure Tottenham were paying. I think it was like 25 million or something, and I'm sure we were in for about that amount of money, if not more, for him.
Yeah. And
they were like, no. And then as soon as he just has another hissy fit, they're like, oh yeah, go to Stoke then. If anyone, Stoke are their like rivals for like not going down. They should have let him come to Tottenham. Could have won the league with him last year.
It's Daniel Levy giving them like 9 instalments.
Yeah, it probably was. He probably did give them like 5 million and then give them like 20 million over 10 years or something.
I'll pay you in Tic Tacs.
Probably just gave them like a seat at the new Tottenham Stadium, just like,
come on,
you can come to one game.
It's worth a few hundred at least. Speaking of Tottenham,
oh god, yes,
Liverpool-Tottenham was a controversial game, an exciting one.
Exciting. It had. I'm trying to think of everything it had. It had late drama, controversy, goals.
It had managers celebrating like they're like just I don't
like they've won the league.
I don't like that. I get if you're a manager you should be happy. I like a good fist pump.
Yeah.
Don't run like Klopp ran like 400 metres down the touchline and then has to walk back, doesn't he, like a melon. It's just I had
a hint of like Adebayor at Arsenal all over again. He runs the length of the pitch.
You're just going to make yourself look silly if it doesn't. Do that at the final whistle. When the final whistle goes,
you go,
I care.
Yeah.
But you do it halfway through the game and then you just have to walk back while they score at the other end.
Were you comfortable with the Poch, like, where he sort of had his legs like open and he had like his arms out like, ah!
I was fine with that.
He didn't sprint down
I think I just found it a little odd.
Yeah, it was weird,
actually. It was a bit of like a wrestling move, like Macho Man. Like, it's cute. Don't mind it.
Yeah. I think it was in that match last season that I think we lost, and it was such a huge blow, I think, in our title race, losing that game to Liverpool. And there's such a nice moment. I say nice moment. It was a horrible moment, but Pochettino's just down on his like crouching down, and he just very gently just punches the ground. And I was like, I think that's about the most angry I've seen him. He's just like, damn it. It was so clear. He was like, oh yeah, that's cost us it now. So it was nice to see him in that fixture again, and now, I've never seen him celebrate like that. But I will, completely unpopular opinion, because I am happy with the draw, because we could have easily lost that game in the end. That was very, very close. Thank you, John Moss. And, well, actually, thank you, Linesman. Yeah. John Moss was like, no penalty. But
I need to see the TV that's not there.
Yeah, what was this whole... He talked to somebody, and he was like, have you got anything on the TV?
Yeah.
I was like, we haven't got VAR, John Moss. I'm like, that's not a thing yet.
And then
who's he talking to?
They had to put out the statement, didn't they, and go, there was no TV.
Some Sky Sports, was it journalist or something like that, had to tweet saying that he was sat behind the guy that John Moss spoke to, and he was like, he didn't go to any TV. There's this imaginary TV that's suddenly evolved, and all the pundits are like, I didn't know there was TV.
Yeah.
All the commentators were like, did you say something about TV? I've never known about TV.
I mean, the best move they should have made is just move further away from the mic.
Yeah,
like, don't just stand next to the guy with the camera and the mic. That's a bad idea.
When they push all the players away and they're like, let us do something, they should have gone to the camera and go away.
We're about to make a mistake here, go away.
I do wonder if that's what we have, in rugby when they have the mics on the ref. I do wonder if that's the kind of conversation we've been missing all these years, is them just going, have you seen anything on the TV? Maybe they've had VAR this whole time and still just been getting it wrong.
I can just imagine just referees running around being like, I've no idea, mate, I can't see. He's fallen over, he's rolling around now, looks like he's got a broken leg or something. No, he's just got up, he's fine. Was it a free kick? I don't know, fuck it. Carry on, play on.
I do think they were. I'm interested in your opinion on this, because obviously I'm the Tottenham fan, so it probably come across biased, although I do like to think I can sort of take myself away from the situation and look at it objectively. But I do think they were the right decisions. The second penalty, I think, is a little bit weak, but I can see that given. Especially from the view the linesman has, it doesn't look... When you see the reverse camera angle behind the goal, you see him sort of pull away from it, but I think as the linesman, it does just look like he's completely kicked him in the back. So, yeah, I think they're both... Yeah, they were both good. And the first one, Harry Kane, isn't offside, although that has brought a load of questions into my mind about what offside rule is again. All these years I've been like, oh yeah, I know the offside rule. It's fine, got that down. And then this happened, I was like, is that offside? Don't know anymore. But apparently it's not, because Lovren touched the ball, which sets up a whole new phase of play, which it didn't, but,
was that
Gallagher's words.
Was that your unpopular opinion?
Oh, no, I got sidetracked there.
Okay, we'll stay on this one.
Okay.
So, I think I agree with you, I think the first penalty is right. Now, I would have given offside, but I clearly don't understand what's going on, so I'm fine with that. That's fine. That's penalty.
That's what I was going to say. I think the linesman and the ref communicating actually worked very well. Was that first penalty, because the ball came across, and I think the linesman thought it might have been offside, but he didn't know if Lovren had touched the ball.
Yeah.
So he was like, if Lovren's touched the ball, it's not offside and it's a penalty. At which point the ref was like, oh yeah, Lovren's touched the ball, so that means by what you're saying it's a penalty. So I think that worked very well. But you were saying.
And then I think the second one that since I've seen it, and someone's offside when the ball gets not thrown in but headed
Lorente.
on. I didn't understand that.
Lamella is offside.
So I could see, if you go back to that, then it's offside.
That one is so tiny. Again, VAR, that would get caught, but...
They missed that one, that's fine. And then, I would agree with you. I think it's a penalty. I hate it that's how he decided to deal with the situation. Lamella.
Lamella.
But, it's a penalty. And if it was the last minute at Anfield and I got kicked on the back of the calf, I would be on the deck as well. So I don't blame him. I just wish it wasn't a thing.
I did have there's a person I know that supports Arsenal, and they tweeted something like, trust Spurs to get a dodgy last minute penalty, and I was like, what are you talking about? And they're just like, Lamella clearly dives. I was like, well, he kicks him in the back. And then I was like, I do know what you mean. But I think any player would in that scenario.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, if you look at it as the facts of the situation, he got a touch in the area.
Yeah.
He didn't get the ball. It's a foul.
It's different from the Harry Kane one in a way, because Harry Kane moves the ball, keeper touches him, and then he goes down.
If it happens just next to the halfway line, you're going to give a free kick. So at the end of the day, it has to be a penalty. It's the same as, sometimes when there's those ones where the cross comes in and the defender pushes the attacker, and you're like, it's not really a penalty,
Yeah.
but it is a penalty. Like, if the ref sees it, it's a penalty. You're like, I don't want it to be, but if it's your team, you're like, come on, he would have headed it. Even if he's, like, never going to. So, yeah, I think that was fine. I don't understand any sort of...
No. So I think after numerous... I mean, Liverpool are still in complete denial about this, even though there's been numerous analysis and everyone being like, yeah, that's right. Liverpool still refuse to accept any of these decisions, which is fair, because that would also really annoy me when you thought you'd won it in the 90-something minute and then that happened. Van Dijk again, costing them, a precious win.
That 75 million's paying off.
Yeah, really good for them so far. I mean, there was a brilliant bit on Match of the Day. I think it's Jermaine Genius and Martin Lawrenson or something that were on Match of the Day. They had the offside rule where it was the Lovren bit on Kane that they were debating.
Yeah.
And they had the offside rule read out to them by the presenter. I can't think who that was. From the actual rule book of what it means to be offside, which from the rules, Harry Kane's not offside, and they both were like, "Yep, not having it." They're like, "No, that's offside for me." I was like, "You've just had the actual rules read out to you," and they're like, "No." Like, how? Why do they know so much about football that suddenly it's not actually about the rules? It's just about what you feel as a footballer and as a person. Screw the rule book. If you feel that's offside, that's offside.
Yeah.
So that annoyed me whilst watching Match of the Day.
There's not enough feelings in football, I think. Too many facts. What was your unpopular opinion?
Yes, my unpopular opinion was, as I said, I was very happy with the draw because we could have lost that. But I just think we could have won. So it annoyed me how happy everybody was celebrating a draw. That's my unpopular opinion, because I saw a lot of people on Twitter going, "Oh yeah, whoa," and you see the Pochettino celebration and Harry Kane and everybody, all of that. Admittedly, Harry Kane scored his 100th goal, so he might have been celebrating that. But I feel it should have been a little bit of more of like, we've done well there, lads, but not acted like it was actually a win. Because Harry Kane, you don't stumble the bloody penalty. We could have won that in dying minutes instead of the Salah goal. So there was a chance there. And I'm happy with the draw because, as I say, could have easily lost it and it would have been very different. But I think we could have won. I more just wish people weren't as happy about the draw as they are. Because I think we should be in that place now where we're disappointed with that draw rather than happy we drew it. Because we should be beating some of these teams at some point. But that being said, they did beat Man City, who were completely unbeaten until then. So maybe that is a good draw. We went there and did what Man City couldn't do. Win a penalty. So, yeah. But yeah, that was my unpopular opinion. It's just that I think people were a little too happy about the draw.
Yeah, I can see that. I think it's part of like what we've spoke about before with when you become like a bigger team and then suddenly people expect a lot of you. Yeah. So you're like, well, come on, like we should be like winning. But then I don't know, like I feel like it was you that was saying it about Tottenham's away record to like bigger teams.
Oh yeah.
Saying so maybe like what was the result at White Hart Lane?
What, against Liverpool?
Yeah, did they win?
Do you mean Wembley?
Yeah. White Hart Lane's not a thing anymore.
No. Oh, no more. Oh. I wish it was. Oh man, we might have won the league this season. Yeah, it was 4-1 to us at Wembley against Liverpool.
So then I feel like, if you get a win and a draw, that's a pretty, against
it's pretty decent.
Head for Liverpool, you're like, you know what, that's fair enough. So I can see why people would be like contented with it. I know what you mean though. There is a bit of like a come on lads, like you want to win every game.
You do want to win every game.
So it should sort of be like, yeah, we got a draw. Let's try and win next time, rather than like, yeah, we won.
It's one of those that in the moment, having watched the game, you go, oh man, we could have won that. But when I look at the whole season as a whole, and I look back and I'll go, wow, 2-2 draw at Anfield. That's pretty decent. I'll look back on that and I go, probably good to have got a draw there. In the same way I look at when we drew to Burnley at Wembley, I go, Jesus Christ, we should have won that game. But in the moment you go, oh, we should have won that game, we'll have drawn. But you look back and you go, oh, yeah, should have won that game now, it's a bit disappointing. So, I think at the end of the season, I'll look back and go, decent draw. You know, that's us unbeaten to Liverpool now in the league this season. So that's a rare occurrence because usually they smash us at Anfield. So,
I mean, maybe it would have helped if maybe Tottenham had tried to trick their opponents a bit more.
What is this?
I'm not
I don't
sure
know what this is.
I'm not sure if there was enough trickery going on.
I don't even know what he's referring to, because I don't think anyone in our team really dives apart from Dele Alli. I don't know why he's like, oh yeah, I coach my team this way to trick the opponent. I'm like, what are you talking about, Poch?
To be fair to him, I desperately wanted it to be exactly what he said. To be 100% fair to him, the journalist asked him, what do you think about, like, Ali? He's been booked, like, 3 times for diving, like, quite quickly or whatever.
Okay.
And he said something to the effect of, like, football's about trying to trick the opponent, but trying to play a fair game or something.
Yeah.
And then sort of trailed off to talk about something else. But people took the tricking your opponent to linking to the diving bit.
Yeah.
Because then when he, like, reframed it, because then he was like, well, yeah, you don't want to... I'm talking about, like, switching wings or something.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I saw him say was about the tactics. He's like, that's how you trick your opponent. Because he's like, oh, you know, you start him on the left, but actually he plays on the right. Or something, you know, or like, oh yeah, I'm going to go down the left, but actually I'm going to cut inside on my right. I think, so then, yeah, that's how he rephrased it. But everyone has taken it to mean that, like, oh yeah, I tell people to dive.
Yeah, I think it's, like... It's become a really big thing. I would love, to be fair, I would love the opposite. I would love for if one of your players got caught to be like, in the press conference afterwards, to be like, Ali, stop being a prick. We don't need this right now, do we?
Yeah.
Like, just stop. And then even if he doesn't stop, at least you've said it. So, like, I would, but I can't, you know, I don't think, as much as I wanted it to be like, Poch, mate, what you doing? I was like, Poch, you've been done there, mate. You've said something, and they've been like, Poch likes diving. Poch says he tells all his players to dive.
Because then they've instantly, man, the press go wild with it. Because then they talk to Arsene Wenger about the game this weekend, and then he was instantly questioned about diving. At which point he then brought up an interesting point, which is how I think they've sort of like taken his comment out of context as well. To be fair, because he said something about how when he first came here, a lot of the negativity around diving was like, oh, you know, foreign players, like European players do it. And he said that English players have now got quite good at doing it, which I think that's been taken out of context. And it just got quoted as him being like, oh, English players are professional divers or something like that. So, yeah, Tottenham and Arsenal both got screwed in that mix of press conferences.
Yeah. I think it is... The thing that I would like to see is for if it's a dive and you get caught diving, then I don't really care about a yellow card. But if you're going to give them a ban if you don't get caught, I want to see a ban if you do get caught, kind of thing.
I see what I mean.
So if it's clear enough, because sometimes there's a bit of contact but you go down easily. Do you know what I mean? Just use like normal discretion. But if the referee is like, yes, I booked that man for diving, and I'm sure of it, then you're like, well, that's a ban then, and you can appeal the ban the same as you appeal a red card.
Yeah.
But like, it seems kind of stupid that if I get caught diving, I get a yellow. If I don't get caught diving, then I get like a free kick in the game, but then I get banned for 3 games.
It is the ban is when you've successfully deceived the official, though. It's not just like, I've dived, and then the ref's gone, oh yeah, that, you know, because this is the other thing I don't understand is when it's always when it could be a penalty. It's never really a free kick. They discuss this point. But whenever a player's gone into the box and a player makes a bit of contact, like a defender makes a bit of contact with the opposing player, and then the ball goes out or something like that, they always say it should either be a corner, at which point it's a good tackle, or it's a penalty. And I'm like, that's not the only 2 options that exist. It could have been that you just make a bit of contact and, as you say, he goes down easily. And that's not a dive because there's contact. And it's not a good tackle because technically he hasn't won the ball, but it's just not a penalty either.
Yeah.
And they don't ever seem to really discuss that. They're always like, oh, well, that should either be a penalty or a dive, or it's a really good tackle. And it's not. That's not the only thing. Sometimes it's a bad tackle, but it's not enough for a penalty, and it's just not a dive either.
I feel like it goes through to part of the idea that I hate the thing, you know, like where they're like, if the referee's seen it, we don't take retrospective action.
Yeah.
I sort of hate that idea because I'm
Yeah.
like, sometimes the referee has seen it, but he hasn't seen it the way we've all seen it.
Yeah.
Like, because sometimes you see someone and they make a horrible tackle, the ref will give a yellow, and then you look at it on the replays and you're like, this is obviously a red. He's just like not in the right place to see it, or it's happened too quickly, or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're like, there's stuff like that where I'm like, if you've got VAR at the time you're going to put in, can we have after VAR? Everyone's got it. Like,
Yeah.
I can watch Match of the Day and have VAR and go, that's a red right there. Just like,
It's like, I think the problem with that maybe is that then that will probably take away some of the power of the official, because then if he, you know, if he then blows for a free kick or something like that, or gets a yellow card, then the player will instantly thinking, oh, well, you're not really making decisions anyway, because they're going to watch it all after the game, and then those other people make the correct decision. Doesn't really matter what you've done.
but it still affects the game that's happening.
Yeah.
So, like, the result, I don't think you should be changing, like, you should be like, well, that goal was disallowed, chalk that one off. But, like, I just mean in terms of, like, the severity, maybe it's a better way to phrase it, is in terms of, like, the severity of the decision that's given. I think if the ref gives a penalty or whatever and you haven't got VAR, then it's a penalty, whatever. But I think sometimes if he gives a red, then they'll be like, well, you can appeal it, and that they'll like, yeah, that you don't get a ban for that. You still get sent off, but you don't get a ban for that. And I feel like there should be situations where he gives a yellow, and you're like, you didn't get a ban, but you should.
Yeah. I feel like even if you don't go full VAR, I'm amazed it's taken this long to get something that, like, why not even just, if somebody makes a really bad tackle and the ref's like, I'm going to give a red card here, as soon as he thinks that, he should be maybe talking to somebody else and being like, can you just check this for me and check if this is a red card, especially in that stupid case you had with Kieran Gibbs and Oxlade-Chamberlain. Was that the two that you got mixed up? Like, that's just stupid. That's really stupid that somebody, you know, the players were like, you got the wrong guy, and he's like, no, you're off. Like, that is just stupid. That there's no way that can be rectified other than afterwards when you go, oh yeah, sorry, that's not you that's banned, it's the other guy.
Yeah.
Because that still that's a huge impact in the game. I mean, granted, you say either way, one of them gets sent off, but one of them you lose a left back, the other one you lose like a bright mid.
Yeah.
You know, that's quite a big difference for a game. That's just that to me is like the simplest of decisions that shouldn't be that hard, that you don't need a massive VAR for. You don't, you know, as soon it doesn't have to be every decision. Just when he's like, I'm going to send this player off, maybe just go, you're right there, person with the TV, can you just check this for me? See if I've got the right person here.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't... Because I feel like there's a big point made about kind of the authority of the referee and all that kind of stuff. But I'm like, none of these like Premier League footballers are starting fights. They're not intimidating the referee. Do you know what I mean? They're not like, you have no power here, suck it, nerd. Like, they're just
giving him a wedgie.
Yeah, like they have as much respect for him because they know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So it's like it shouldn't matter if he, like you said, if he's like, I think I'm going to send this guy off. Can you just check? Like, that shouldn't be, like, I don't think any player is going to get round him and be like, oh, you weren't watching the game, oh, you sucker. Like,
yeah, no, I think they would respect more, especially in that game, as I say, against you. They'd respect more that he goes, oh, yeah, can you just check that for me? Oh, it's not Oxlade-Chamberlain, it's Kieran Gibbs. Oh, right.
Yeah, because the rest of that game, I'm totally running around being like, the rereferee doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
He hasn't seen any of this.
You can tell as well, because then the fans get on the back. I'll never forget, there was a game between Tottenham and West Ham, I think it was, and both sets of fans shouting at the ref because he just gave stupid decisions on both sides of the game, and both sets of fans were like, you don't know what you're doing, like, get off. What are you doing? And when both fans are coming at you, that's just stupid.
Yeah, that's a mark if you've done something wrong, isn't it? Everyone's on your back.
Like, yeah, you know, there's usually like the home fans or the away fans that are like, oh, you don't know what you're doing. But this game, we were like, oh my god, this is bad. Both sets of fans, you know, sometimes even at the same time, all capacity of White Hart Lane singing at this one ref, you don't know what you're doing and you're a wanker. So it just I feel like something should have been brought in a long time ago, because now I think VAR is going to go so completely one way. There's been no middle ground for us to like try.
Yeah,
it's gone from like goal line technology, that's the one, I suppose, that's come in. That's not that massive, but again, that was like, oh, shall we implement this or not? I was like, why not?
Yeah.
Bring it in. I was like, they somehow in tennis, when they hit that ball, they can tell that it's just grazed the grass. Like, get that technology in football.
Yeah, I
want to know. I want Frank Lampard to score that goal against Germany. I want that to count.
I want just go full hog. Just give me cyborg linesman. And if you go offside and you get the ball, they just laser part of your leg off, and they're like, sorry. And that depends. If your whole body's offside, you're vaporised. That's it. But if you're just half offside,
just a toe or something.
You just lose part of your leg, and you're like, well, might carry on from there. Theo Walcott be dead in a second.
Should we move on? Because that was quite a...
On a different note, I saw today Alexis Sanchez was saying that he came to United to win everything. And that
I don't think you go to United for that.
Well, that made me think, why would you not go to City?
I think we discussed this in our very first podcast.
Everything in this interview that I read was like, oh yeah, they're a big club and they're going to win lots of things. So the topic is, are United...
Why have you gone to the wrong side of Manchester?
I think, that's the point I'm getting at. But are United going to win anything this season? They're not going to win the league. I can clear that one up for you now, lads. Save you.
Oh wow, that is a big prediction right now.
Oh, putting it out there.
They've just drawn to Burnley. Is this the start?
I'll get some sound effect bombs and stuff. It'll be fine. And I can't see them winning the Champions League.
No, I think that they'll be all right in the Champions League because, as we've said before, I think that's where Mourinho is at his best because he can actually get his team and be like, guys, just defend for me. I don't know how he does it. Maybe just a better quality of players, because that does seem to be what the lower teams in the league struggle with, is that defensive bit at times.
Yeah.
And he's like, I've got this down to a T. That works absolutely fine. So I feel like they could be all right in the Champions League, but I don't know. I can't see him winning anything this season.
No.
He's missed out on the amazing Europa League win that they had and the Carling Cup. So is that what you came to United for, was to win those two trophies?
It's just I can't, because even the FA Cup, I'm like, I can't see United winning the FA Cup.
No, I feel like that could be City's as well.
I think Marcus Rashford's going to be banging on his locker, being like, excuse me, sir, can I have a game, please? Which is, as an England fan, I would like Marcus Rashford to maybe play a game or two.
Yeah, it'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Especially
when Lukaku doesn't really do anything for them at the minute. Would be nice. Saying that, he might have scored this weekend and I've ignored it.
He scored a good goal. A good finish, probably is a better way to put it.
Oh, okay.
Not to say it wasn't a good goal, but one of those ones where it's like...
it was just clinical.
Yeah. It's a good
okay,
finish,
that's fair. I'll stop slating Lukaku then.
Oh, you can carry on slating him, I don't mind.
I really liked Lukaku until he's gone to Man United and he's suddenly so hip and cool with Pogba. I'm just like, the two of you just piss off.
They're just dabbing about everywhere.
Just dabbing everywhere. They released that cool video when, Lukaku's like, hey, I'm joining Man United, and Pogba's like, really? No way. Or something. And then they're like, dab. Just get lost. So, yeah, I really liked him at Everton. He's an incredible striker, but yeah, he's a bit too big for his boots now, I feel. But so, yeah, I can't see United winning anything worthwhile. They're out of the Carabao Cup, right?
Yeah, it's us and City in the final, right?
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
So,
yeah,
that'll be...
I forgot that's that soon.
Something, I'm sure.
That might be Guardiola's first trophy of the season.
Yeah, Yo, Pierre, you want to win the Carabao Cup? Not really.
I would like to think Tottenham had a chance of winning the FA Cup. I'm so glad we actually beat Newport County. I was happier about that than the Liverpool result, if I'm honest. The Liverpool one, I was like, wow, that's a bit disappointing. But the game against Newport County, I was like, oh, thank God we won that. Now we've got Rochdale, which is another ridiculous test.
Did you see the picture of their pitch?
No.
The Rochdale's pitch is just
mud.
Not even that, mud that's caked over, and it's just a light brown, sandy,
God.
I was like, there's going to be so many leg breaks there.
Oh,
That's just That's the kind of game where you'd be like, sorry, Kane, I won't let you play.
We need Llorente on, and just be like, right, Llorente, we're going to kick it up to you because we can't play it on the pitch.
Harry's like, boss, I really want to play. And you're like, no, Harry, back in the locker.
Not for you.
Don't put the boots on, whatever you do. It's slippery out there. Don't touch any of these nasty Rochdale people. I might break a leg.
Yeah, that's I don't even know who that's a game for. Stick Dembele and Wanyama in the middle and just let them fight everyone. Oh, that's going to be a horrible game then. One more interesting point I will make, because we discussed the game between Watford and Chelsea. We did mention Gerard Deulofeu, and we didn't think he would be very good for Watford. I mean, obviously he's had one game, but I watched that game and he struck me as he's a very good player. I think he's just one touch away from being a very good player. Right. He reminds me a bit of Hazard, but without being that world class as Hazard, because he's very good, but just can't quite control the ball enough. Because I mean, I was thinking this about 60 minutes in. I was watching him, and he kept on getting the ball, and he was just slightly overhitting it, and he was losing it, and he wasn't quite making the run that somebody wanted him to make. And I was like, he looks so good, just not quite there yet.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that 60 minutes in, and then he went and grabbed a goal, and I was like, maybe I know nothing about football. And so, but yeah, I still don't know if he's going to be a good signing for Watford, but he just needs to, I don't know what he needs. He's got the quality, just needs to rein it in a bit and work a bit harder. Yeah,
I think he's the kind of player who, if you put him in a really, if you put him in a top 6 team, you'll be like, he doesn't perform enough. But actually, I feel like if you put him in a Watford team, you're like, if he makes a really special goal, 1 in every 5 games, you'd probably take that, because you'd be like, that's 3 points every 5 games. And you're like, well, maybe him losing the ball a lot and taking an extra touch here and there is sort of worth it for the opportunity to make something.
Yeah.
But
I don't know his mentality for training and things like that as well. I don't quite know what he's like in that aspect, if he works very hard or not. Because in that sense, if he doesn't work very hard, he would remind me a lot of a Trapped.
Yeah.
Just got so much ability and so much potential, so much skill, but just isn't going to train hard, work hard, and get somewhere. You end up at QPR. So that he struck me as between Trapped and Hazard at the minute.
Yeah, I can see that.
But yeah, so that was my final point.
So, shall we move on to predictions?
Yes, what are the games for this weekend?
Well, the first one is Tottenham
that is the big game, isn't it?
Arsenal.
Let's start those predictions off.
12:30 kickoff. So, just for context, we're recording this on a Friday night, and I don't want to wake up in the morning because I have a bad feeling about this.
Why do you have the bad feeling? I hate it when the other team is feeling like the underdog, because I feel that's when we don't win. When we played you at the beginning of the season, we came to you and we were like, we're Tottenham, we're so much better than you now. And you were like, oh my God, we're going to get absolutely smashed. And then you beat us. So this could go badly wrong for us.
I'm not convinced by our away form. I think that's the main thing.
See, now, I've seen a very interesting point. Again, it was said by Paul Merson, so, take it or leave it. But he's saying, he mentioned Arsenal's Wembley record will make you feel like home. Now, I can see that, but I think this is a different scenario being at Wembley than you have played in, obviously.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have 80,000 Tottenham fans compared to 45 of each, or 30, because you've got to have the shitty business people also get to come see the game. That's a different point. So I don't know, and I feel like it's interesting because I've just seen Poch say this, and I was literally feeling it just before the Newport County game. But Poch just came out and said that Wembley is starting to feel like home.
Yeah,
he might have said this because people are talking about Arsenal's record at Wembley, and he's like, oh no, this is our home, not yours, sort of thing. So that might be why he's come out and said it. But just before the Newport County game, I was looking to the Arsenal game, and I was thinking, I'm actually not that bothered. I look at that fixture and I go, oh, we're actually playing at home. It feels like home.
Right.
To quote Newman Faulkner. So, yeah, I think we could be all right in this game.
I think, I think Arsenal's, like I said, I think the away record isn't great. And I think going forward, I think we'll be fine. I think defensively is not up to scratch for... And I don't even see it like it's in terms of, oh my God, Harry Kane's going to score loads of goals. I just think when you watch Tottenham play, they're like all of the other good teams, where they pass it around a bit, they make some moves, and all you need is one of your defenders to do something stupid. And we have too many defenders that are like, I'll do something stupid, pick me! Waving their arms in the air and shit. And it's like... So I would go for... I think Arsenal will score. I'd go for maybe like a 2-1, 3-1, something like that.
I think that's a very common scoreline between us.
Can I also predict a penalty for Tottenham? And can I also predict Mustafi to give it away? That's going to be, if I'm right...
Oh my God, what a prediction.
If I'm right, I'll probably be very angry because I should have put a bet on it.
So we've just predicted the score and a penalty and the player to commit the penalty.
Yeah. I'm not going to say who it's on, because, if it's Dele Alli, you won't have touched him. Low blow. What's your prediction?
Hopefully, Poch is working the training ground this week, getting them to trick the opponent. He probably brought in some officials and been like, can we just see what it's like, see if this die works on you?
Yeah, did you see it or not?
My prediction for this game, I would also say... I don't know. I think both my realistic answer and my Tottenham fan answer are the same in, I think it could be 2-0 to us or 2-1 to us. But I wouldn't be surprised. This isn't one of the ones like the Watford-Chelsea game where I was like, no, I can really see Watford winning that. I don't feel that confident, so I wouldn't be surprised if this did end like 2-2 or... There's always goals between Tottenham and Arsenal, so I could see a draw, but not like a 0-0 draw.
Okay, there you go with a 2-1. That seems like a...
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that. 2-1, I would say.
That's a fairly fair result. I
feel like it could be a nice early goal for us. Let's think who could score that. Who would score a nice quick goal? Maybe Heung-min Son. I think could score like a nice early goal. Then there'd be nothing for the rest of the game, and then I think a Mustafi penalty could make it 2-0.
Yeah,
I can see that result happening.
I could see that.
That's my out there prediction.
That's your out there prediction.
So you've got 2-1 and Mustafi giving away a penalty.
The thing I really hope is that Arsenal actually try and win the game. I would love to, as an Arsenal fan, I would love to see him start with like Lacazette, Aubameyang, Ozil, Mkhitaryan. Just be like, fuck it. Like let's just concede 12 and score 13, and then at least if Arsenal lose, I'll have something good to watch. So it's a completely
very true.
It's a completely selfless prediction.
That was why the Tottenham Liverpool game was so good in a way. Horrible for a Tottenham fan and a Liverpool fan, but I think for neutrals, hopefully, it was actually a very good game of football because it was two teams that try. It was like when I watched Liverpool Arsenal. To be fair, two teams that actually try and play football. They both want to win the game. So it was a very, very good game of football to watch. Yeah. And I think that was the same for Liverpool Tottenham, and I think that's why Tottenham Arsenal at the minute is very good. Because we're both at that point where we're like, we need to win this game. Yeah. Like, a draw's not very good at the minute. So
I think it's like, I've heard a lot of like build up, and I think it's the first time everyone's been saying the same thing, as it's like the biggest like North London derby for a while. Because it matters so... Actually, that's bad. I say it, but it matters so much more for both people. Because if you win, then it's like you're up. If Chelsea slip up,
we go
then
third
it's like,
before Chelsea and Liverpool play. So that's like a bit of a... I mean, I wouldn't let my players see any results from the day. I would be like, no, get in there. No TVs. You're going to go out there and win. But if they do see the result, they might be a bit like, oh shit, got to win today. Yeah. And that could get in their heads, especially Chelsea. I feel like the more and more they try and win, the more they'd lose. So, yeah. But you especially, because if we win, then we go 7 points ahead of you. And then if Liverpool and Chelsea win this weekend, then you're even further from fourth.
And then we're just second team in the league, all about that Europa League. Everton, Crystal Palace.
Hard to, right, yeah, going back to the start of the show where I said my main man Zaha, he's out. So, Crystal Palace lost.
Crystal Palace lost. I would agree. I think Everton will win. Having
saying that, they lost 5-1 to you last week. It's a pretty big, demoralising defeat.
They did. They were really poor defensively, but going forward, actually, they were better than I've seen them for a while.
Okay.
I don't know why they didn't play Rooney or Sigurdsson, but maybe that's a thing they do normally. Yeah. But Walcott actually fit into that quite well. He kind of made a bit more space. So I could see them having a decent result. I'd go for maybe a 1-0, 2-0. Maybe
I would have said 2-0, yeah.
Nothing too fancy. Go for a 2-0. Stoke Brighton.
Oh, I mean...
Thrilling game, I'm sure.
Stoke, Berahino going to play. Stoke win, surely.
Yeah, I'd go for a Stoke win as well. I think at home.
What stadium is it now? Bet365 or is that the old one?
No,
it's the old one, Britannia, isn't it?
Yeah, it must be Bet365.
It's Bet365 now.
Not spun, by the way.
Bet365. Link in the description.
1-0? 1-1? Something.
Actually, yeah, I could see a draw. Do you know what, actually? I could see like a 2-2 draw. Maybe that's 2-2. My out there result.
Go 2-2. Swansea, Burnley. Swansea have become the greatest team I've ever seen. Do you see they won 8-1 midweek?
Oh my God, yes. 8-1.
Genuinely, that man has come in, beaten Liverpool, beaten Arsenal, and then won 8-1.
That's insane.
He's a genius.
It's Carvalhal.
Correct, yeah.
I always want to say Carvajal.
Yeah, I do
the
too.
Real Madrid player, but not quite. Who are they playing? Sorry.
Burnley.
I mean, see, that was the beauty of the Liverpool Arsenal is those teams come out and play against you. So
Swansea Burnley going to be waiting for someone to kick off. Just leave it.
They're going to be both flipping the coin and hoping that it's not them to take the kick off.
Someone just rolls the ball forward and they all just walk away from it. Take a 0-0 here, lads. Only 89 minutes, 95 seconds ago.
Oh dear. But yeah, I think they won't. I was going to say the word unstuck, but I don't think they'll lose. But I think it could be a draw. I think it'd be like 1-1.
Okay, I'll go for a 2-1 Swansea because I have
faith in them.
I have faith, and we've had too many of the similar results, so I need to be different.
Oh, that's true, actually. Yeah.
West Ham, Watford.
West Ham.
West Ham at home, who are just terrible, and Watford away, who are just terrible.
I mean, this was a point we haven't made in the middle segment of our podcast, is the new man that signed for West Ham.
Patrice
Evra.
Yeah.
I love this game. So, the crowd kicking.
Yeah. I can't see how that was a good idea.
What, signing Evra?
Not that I think he's going to go and kick more fans, but just that he's 34 and hasn't played for
West Ham, the fans kick you.
He's 34 and hasn't played for 6 months. And can you imagine how much he's getting paid compared to everyone else? It seems like such a, oh my God, our season, please, free agent.
I can only think. I mean, I like Evra. I can only think more what Moyes has done there is signed a very experienced player that's won a lot that will come in and be a bit of oh, you're right, guys, how's it going? Oh, why are you shaking before this game? Calm, my friend. Relax, stay composed on the ball, play your game. He come in, because I think he was, second captain at Man United?
Yeah.
After Vidic or something. Or not Vidic, Ferdinand. I don't even know who was the main captain. But I think Evra was one of those. I think I saw him in a quote years ago. Alex Ferguson came out and said he was one that he could easily go into management because he had so much he had that man management skill.
Yeah.
So I feel it's an interesting signing from Moyes because I think he would be a very good person in the dressing room.
Yeah.
Do you pay somebody all that money just to be a good person in the dressing room? If you're Moyes and that scared of the team you've got at the minute that could go down, maybe you do, and maybe they'll stay up because of it. Who knows?
It's a bit of a Football Manager signing, I feel like.
It is. Yeah. Although that would work better in real life than it would in Football Manager. Because I've done those Football Manager signings when I've been like, yeah, let's get an experienced professional in. Doesn't have to play, but, he can calm everyone down, play him in the big games or something. And, it doesn't work in Football Manager. So, hopefully, Moyes...
They just complain about not playing.
they just don't play enough.
So what are we going for? West Ham, Watford. I'll go for like a 1-1 draw, 0-0. In fact, I'll go for a 0-0. I haven't had a 0-0 in ages.
Oh my god, a 0-0.
I haven't seen a 0-0 in ages. I don't think they exist anymore. I think someone else does.
Do you know what? I really like Watford. I do like West Ham, to be fair. But I just think West Ham are struggling too much. So I will say 2-1 Watford.
2-1 Watford. And the last one on Saturday is Manchester City. Manchester City versus Leicester.
Yeah, presumably Man City at home.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
no Mahrez.
The Leicester City of no Mahrez. The Leicester City of 2 years ago, they smashed that result because they just sit back and counter. But as you say, no Mahrez. I'm not sure. Surely Man City win.
Yeah, I'm going Man City,
I think 3-0.
Yeah. I was about to say 3-0.
I think that's such a common scoreline for them because they're going to score a lot, not stupidly and not a stupid amount. So a normal amount is about 3.
We'll go for matching 3-0s. Huddersfield Bournemouth is the first one on Sunday.
I mean, Bournemouth just won, didn't they?
They did.
Against Stoke. So, yeah, two interesting teams. Nice footballing teams, again, I think. But I think Bournemouth... I don't think Bournemouth have enough Premier League experience to see out that game.
Yeah.
Because I think they presumably matched against each other, down in the Championship. But I think Bournemouth are on just a bit of a different level now that Bournemouth can see out that game. Although I've just said all that, I can't think of a score prediction.
I'm gonna go for a 2-1. Changed my mind halfway through saying that.
Were you going to say 1-0?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to go 1. I'll say 1-0 Bournemouth.
Yeah, I'll go 2-1 Bournemouth, 1-0 Bournemouth. Manchester United versus Newcastle. Newcastle are at home.
Now, I've seen again a lot of criticism for Rafa Benitez and his defensive style in that City game.
Yeah.
And it's been questioned whether he's going to adopt the same sort of approach as Man United one. If he does, I think Man United would really struggle with that. I think Man United themselves that would be like a Swansea game where both teams would just be like, no, you have the ball. No, you have the ball.
Yeah, I could see definitely maybe 1-0 tops. I can see maybe a late goal, Lukaku or something, not anything. Yeah, I can't see anything of any substance really.
I could either see it being 1-0 or 4-0. Because I think they could score that 1 and then nothing else happen, or they score that 1 and then Newcastle are like, oh shit, there's our game plan.
True.
And then they concede 4.
Yeah.
So.
What are you going for? No pressure. Just a reputation that
I was going to say 2-0 Man United, then just sort of go in half. 2.5 goals?
2.5.
No.
Nil.
Oh yeah, I'll go 1-0 Man United. Wow. I think it will actually be 2-0 Man United, but...
Well, let's put 2-0 then. You've changed your mind.
Oh, shit, okay.
Southampton versus Liverpool is the last game on Sunday. Virgil van Dijk returning to Southampton.
I think...
How many penalties will he give away?
I think Van Dijk might struggle with that. I mean, not that he's been doing too well in the previous games, and that's not his old club, but... He probably hasn't been in a situation like this before. And for such a big fee that he's transferred for, I think could be, it's a lot of weight on his shoulders. So that, combined with going back to your old club, could be a bit damaging. I mean, I don't think I'd actually play him this game. If I was Liverpool, I don't think I'd play him. I think I'd let him sit there. I think it's too costly for Liverpool at the minute to play a player like him. But then maybe you would, because he's that good. You're like, this is the game where we need him.
Yeah.
But I think if you're any other same manager, if you didn't just buy him for 75 million, the 2 games he's had where he's given away a penalty to Tottenham and gifted Swansea a goal, I think you'd be like, maybe sit out this week, maybe get used to your surroundings a bit more, which puts you straight into the team. But that's a whole different conversation. But I think Liverpool will win that 2-0, maybe 2-3-0.
I would go maybe like, I could see like a 3-2. I could see like a bit of a battle.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It could go either way. Chelsea, West Brom. I think Chelsea will win this one handily.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I can't explain why. I don't think Conte can explain why. I just think they'll smash it and everyone will be like, oh, Conte's great again. And then he'll lose next week and we'll all be like, oh my God, Conte.
Yeah.
I just don't think he cares. So I think they'll just do what, like Hazard will just do whatever he wants.
I think West Brom aren't quite what they used to be in how difficult they are to break down. Saying that, who did they beat? Oh, it was Liverpool in the FA Cup, wasn't it?
It was.
Because we predicted one of those results and we got that badly wrong because we said Liverpool were going to win and West Brom smashed them.
I'm going for a 4-0 if it helps.
Are you? Watch Chelsea?
Chelsea, 4-0.
Christ.
Yep. I've just done it, boys. Watch out.
I think I will say 3-1.
3-1. That's a sensible result.
I think... I was
think-
going to explain 3-1 and why and how it would all happen. My instant thought would be that they'd probably go 2-0 up and they'd be like, oh yeah, we're coasting. Then they concede and go 2-1. Then it's a bit nervy, but then I think they get that third goal and kill the game off. Now, if that happens, along with the Tottenham prediction I made earlier, I would just be a genius and honestly sack Paul Merson and bring me in.
You're going to do the predictions each week on
I'll
Sky
do the
Sports.
predictions each week. If I get those 2 exactly right, that'd be insane.
That's basically the same. Just say whatever you want to happen and then put the odds underneath.
That's true. Yeah, just so long as we get a lot of bets from it.
You basically
that
just let the
matters.
bookies decide anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's Champions League games next week, but who cares? Arsenal aren't in it, so fuck 'em.
Are you? Oh, you're not.
Nah.
Oh god, I actually forgot that then.
I don't. Let's go because we're here.
Might as well because next podcast will be
so
after that.
the Champions League games midweek. We've got Basel versus Man City. I think Man City will win easily. I can see a
3-0 again.
yeah 3-0. Juventus Tottenham. That's the other game on Tuesday.
Mate, this month has been a horrible month for us. We've had Man United who we've beaten, then we've had Liverpool, now we've got you, and then we've got Juventus in the Champions League. I mean, in the middle of all that, we had Newport County as well. That didn't help matters. But
I can see Tottenham winning that one.
can you?
Yeah, and I would go just like a 1-0, something like that. A kind of a Real Madrid performance. Put it in.
I was going to say
Get
I could see us drawing that on a Real Madrid performance. I think it could be like a 1-1.
Yeah, to be fair, actually, a draw away from home.
Yeah, it wouldn't be. I'd take that against Juventus. Yeah.
You'd be so. I'm gonna go 1-0 because I'm a bold boy.
Oh wow.
What about
I would say 1-1.
1-0? That's a fair result.
I'll take that. Dybala probably is going to get a really early goal because we're going to be like, what do we do? We're in Europe again. And then just crumble and then be like, oh, this is how we play European football.
There's Italian grass. It's not the same. Toby Alderweireld can't see the hoarding he's aiming for when he's playing his long balls. If you're a real Tottenham fan, you'll get that one.
Yeah,
Just
you're
saying.
an OG Tottenham fan.
Porto Liverpool on Wednesday.
Liverpool, surely. I've got too much for Porto there.
I can see it being like one of those classic Liverpool games where they just score a load
Like
and
that.
concede a load. So
That
like
night in Istanbul or whatever it is that everyone goes to.
maybe not that classic, but like a 3-2, 4-3, like something just stupid. I fucking feel like them just being like, it's Europe, who cares? And then just a nightmare. I'm gonna go 3-2.
I sort of agree with you, but just to be different, I will say 3-1, maybe.
3-1. It's not a very good result. And then Real Madrid PSG.
Nice.
Probably the tie of the tournament, if you want to select one.
Tottenham Juventus. Real Madrid.
Arsenal aren't in it, so it's the tie of the tournament.
PSG. I don't know. I mean, I took Belay's words as gospel when he said that Real Madrid will turn up to the Tottenham game and win it because, you know, they're Real Madrid and they perform in the big games. So I believed him when he said that, and then they lost to us.
Yeah.
So I'd like to think that if we're believing Gwilym here, Ronaldo steps up in this game and he's like, fucking hat-trick, mate. But PSG, I wonder, actually, I don't know that PSG have been tested defensively much this season.
Right.
Apart from, they lost to Bayern Munich, didn't they, in the group stages?
Yeah.
So, if Real Madrid came out and had a go at them, I think Real Madrid could go toe-to-toe. So, do you know what, actually? No, I just think PSG win. I'm so torn.
If it helps, I'm going for PSG. I'm going like...
All right, you go PSG, I'll go different then. I'll say...
I'll go like 2-1.
PSG.
Yeah. Something like that.
I was going to say 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw, that seems good. I can see that as well. I just think...
Crappy Ronaldo deflected goal. And probably like a Marcelo goal or something.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Something you wouldn't expect.
Yeah, maybe like a Modric long-range strike.
And then we won't go through all these, but last but not least, obviously the biggest game of the week is Arsenal versus Ooooospina.
Who now?
At the Jamcraft Arena.
Jamcraft Arena?
Yeah, they make craft jam.
That sounds like an awful thing that your parents take you to on a Sunday.
If you're interested, on Sky Sports, they don't have a logo. And the attendance at the Jamcraft Arena is 0. So...
What do you mean?
Well, I guess no one's ever turned up to the Jamcraft Arena. Yeah, I don't care anymore.
I don't even know how to predict that game because I only know one of the teams in it.
I'm going to go 9-0. Why not? I can't spell Ooster. I'll write it down on this piece of paper. It's not going to work out well, is it?
I think like 4-1 to you.
4-1.
If Czech plays 4-1, if you play Ooooospina, 4-0.
Oh yeah, it's the cup game, so Ospina will play.
Yeah, Ooooospina will play.
Okay,
4-0
4-0 then. Deal it is. Yeah, I'll go for 3-1. Who cares? Thursday night football. Shambles. Right. Well, that was the Voice of Football podcast, number 3.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening. Again, if you made it this far, well done. And I hope our predictions this time are even better than last time.
Yeah.
We did all right this week, but yeah, hopefully, I really hope the Tottenham prediction comes true.
I really hope it doesn't. Disclaimer that any predictions we give are, if you bet on them, it's nothing to do with us or the Voice of Football podcast registered,
If you bet and lose all your money, that is not our problem.
Yeah, just saying.
We are just two guys in a room talking about football.
Yeah, I honestly hope I'm wrong, because that means Arsenal will win.
If you bet on us, you might as well bet on whatever Gwilym Belayg says, because it's just as truthful and well-founded.
Right. Well, we'll be back next week with another podcast where we can reflect on our results, and one of us will be extremely happy and one of us will be extremely sad, probably. Or it'll be a draw and we'll both be angry.
We'll both be angry if it's a draw.
So we'll see you next week.
Thank you very much for listening. Bye.
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 Bye.